wouldn't have been here even if I got the time right. So
okay, fair enough. Well, I appreciate you guys being flexible rescheduling from last week. So
no worries. I just forgot about Central Time because
no worries. I think actually last time you were scheduled at 12:45, so it could have been even worse.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you guys want to look at? Because obviously we had the 3 head versus 5 head discussion. We had a lot of setup discussion. What are we looking at today?
We have some maps to discuss. I think we've been getting a little better ult tracking and like fight planning based on the last session. Although it's been kind of hard because at the same time we've been like experimenting a lot more with comps because the patch obviously.
Makes sense. By the way, I might need a role to be able to stream. I forget that was the thing last time.
Oh yeah, sure. I can give you a role.
Cheers.
1 sec. Let me just give you gold chat.
Yeah. You could also just give me server admin and maybe I'll delete.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone would be thrilled if I did that.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
We were just like gonna discuss like some team comps that we were experimenting, see how we can improve at those team comps. The fight tracking and like the fight planning, ult tracking, that kind of thing we've definitely been focusing on it, but it's been been less of a priority after the patch. We've been messing around with so many new comps, so and obviously have as we so.
Okay.
So we can look at the new comps, see about those, and then also implement the discussion we had last time about fight tracking and ult tracking.
Right.
Because that we obviously don't have as much experience with those comps as like.
Sure, makes sense. All right, let's. What map do you want to start with? I'm assuming it's coming from the VOD review channel.
Yeah, I think Milk has it.
So I say we probably want to start off with Elios. We played the Rein stuff on Lighthouse and then Queen on the other 2.
We played Rein into the other Rein and it did not work very well.
Okay, makes sense.
Esbula, you're hot miking.
Oh my days. This is a first. I've never seen this either.
We haven't either, and it kind of caught us by surprise.
Okay, so here's the deal. When in doubt, there's two targets that you got to be focusing in these situations. Well, first off, your Symmetra needs to be taking a teleporter there. Wait a second. I'm not going to try and call it. Wait a second.
How did they... Oh, okay. Interesting.
Oh, my... When in doubt, there's 2 solutions. Focus the SEM / focus the DPS or focus the BAP.
Okay.
I think the first thing that you could do is in these like chaos fights, there's like a lot of little micro things that you can do with like, you guys think of like the Legion Tower Night Market teleport. First thing that if this ever happens, just instantly find them or BAP and nail them. Obviously,
because you want to instantly force cryo and you want to instantly force
Right, exactly. They're the squishiest targets. And the other thing too is when you put Mei on the back foot, she's not doing damage.
Oh, someone left.
That's all right.
Oh, Hezbollah. He'll probably be back. He's not actually on the team. He was just like,
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. But yeah, the TLDR is just get on the Mei force ice block so she's not doing damage as fast as possible or kill the BAP, one or the other. And I think the teams that like are the thing is like in this chaos, it's like really easy to get split. Don't focus Ryan. Just go in, all in. Find him. Go now. Force the ice block now. Get the kill. Yeah, that's fine. Because in these fights, there's never the opportunity to set up off angles or to take space or to burn. No, it's just like everyone's all in a big clump. Just kill the squishy targets immediately.
By the way, I think you know this, but we're actually the other team.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, you're red. Yeah. Oh, you're milk. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, we lost.
I give you guys too much credit. I was like, okay, I legit knew it was you guys. I saw, milk on the top. I remember, but for some reason.
Oh, I'm on a different account. No reason.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
No reason. Just decided to be on a different account.
This was a rough map.
I love the reload. It's just like a good habit to get into. Whenever you're booped off the map, guys, always reload max.
Noted.
Reload max?
Just in case.
I would take this into height.
Good. It's one of those immediately actionable things. So you guys want to specifically look at this matchup now? Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So beyond the TP,
Also,
which is, as I said,
swapped Sojourn for no reason. I really wish we didn't do that. But
I don't think the Sojourn's as good. I don't think the map is open enough the way teams are playing it.
Yeah.
The Sojourn is okay. Like, it's not a bad choice because you could take really any off angle you want. Your disruptor shot gets high value too. But I do think the Symmetra is pretty good too.
I mean, they're smart. They just like sit behind a wall and then you walk in and die. That's like,
Well, here's what I would do. I would try to make sure that you guys actually have like a really clean neutral fight. Okay, so then you guys coach yourself. You guys are trying new compositions, but you need to have an idea of like what a neutral fight needs to look like. What does a neutral fight need to look like here?
Okay, to retake, we probably want to. I mean, if we have Sojourn, we just want to probably poke them for a while, but we don't want to like just sit there poking them for like 50%. So try and just get like one of them low and then maybe rush for the May wall kind of thing. Is that
that's a good general approach, yes. So let's break down the micro. When should your Rein push? Okay, when your Rein, let's put it this way. When your Rein does push, on who does he push on, preferably?
Probably the May.
May if possible,
May
Symmetra if possible. Yeah, May if possible. Okay, great. What should your Sojourn be doing right now? What's the priority for your Sojourn before the fight starts?
Top and disruptor shot them and then shoot them. Basically.
No, actually, no. Build rail. Then you're gonna do two things. You're gonna drop with rail. 3, 2, 1 Rein pushes. Disruptor shot rail from an angle.
Okay.
Up close, right in this corner. Right. You have a big value. Yeah. Like the problem here is that you disruptor shot, which is a huge cooldown in this little room. And what are we doing?
We don't push at all. Yeah.
Right? And that's more in your Sojourn's fault. So you need to time that well. Okay?
Okay.
And then when you peek here with your rail and your disruptor shot, and then you push here, it's tricky, right? You see how you make it difficult for them to handle that?
Yeah, because they can't like be in cover from both.
Right. They have to choose. And as long as your Sojourn hugs the wall here, you generally aren't as worried about Lucio Boop. She just needs to be really disciplined. Okay, let's keep going here. BAP, where should your BAP go?
Probably like either up top to like middle where I don't even know what that is, but that little like covered piece in the middle is.
Sure.
Like there-ish, I think.
Sure.
I'm not really sure.
Sure, that's fine. Walk forward off of the push. May?
Probably like with the Rein, although a little bit further behind, obviously.
I actually think that you could make a pretty good argument that your May needs to go in a solo off angle. Your Rein pushes hard at the May, and your May splits across here and walls this direction.
So you get like a trident attack going?
Well, think about it. Where are they going to May wall?
Yeah, they can pick one of 3 if we timed it out.
You need to make them pick one of 3. If you guys, the fewer tridents or points that you have, the more value their May wall gets.
Okay, sick.
And your May doesn't necessarily benefit from stacking with her Rein, because does your May like this or does your May like this? The answer is sure, either one, right? It doesn't really matter. Like either one, I can still get my wall, I can still get my freeze. Okay, so then why would you give their May wall maximum value?
Yeah, that's true.
Like what happens if you don't get your stack right? Your May gets her ice block forced, or your May gets walled off, and then she has to rotate, and then you might as well just put her in that spot in the first place. Make them choose where to go. Like, let's put it this way. Make them wall off your Baptiste and only your Baptiste.
How would I avoid getting booped in that situation? Like jiggle peek or?
Jiggle peek, yeah. Hug the corner and jiggle peek. And also you can read the Lucius positioning, right? He can't mark you and the Sojourn at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Again, right, you're splitting the resources for free. There's no value for you guys to be stacked. Okay? And then based off of that question, where should your Lucio be?
Probably either on one of the 2 angles or with our Rein. Just any of the 3, honestly.
I agree. What would be the most impactful? What do you think, Milk?
I kind of think with May, like go with the May.
Okay.
But if your Rein wants to go in super hard, I don't know.
But does your Rein benefit from speed necessarily in this area right here once he's here?
Not really.
Not really, right? You're almost playing like there's no real distance to close because you've already closed the distance, right? So you could play totally selfishly. So would you prefer to shoot with your May here, or would you prefer to shoot with your Sojourn there? It's up to you. I would actually say it's probably better for you to go with Sojourn, just because she's the one that's more likely to be pushed. Based off of how aggressive her position is. But honestly, you going with the May is really good too. It's up to you.
Okay. This is informative because we have no idea how to break these like bunker comps. Same thing with Nepal Village, where the like same kind of deal, you know what I'm talking about? Yep. Where they sit on the back area where like the mini is behind the point. It's been hard for us to break through that.
Yeah,
so This is informative.
A lot of the time when you're talking about mirrors, the neutral is somewhat resembling 5-head, using previous terminology. right?
Yeah.
Where it's about who could take the best positions and the best off angles. And this is generally why actually you guys have a pretty big advantage in this neutral fight.
Really? I would not have expected you to say that.
You do. They have because they have no off angle control, and they can't.
Yeah.
They can't. This is why Brawl MIrror is not very popular here, because it's mostly just that you just try to live and like you. If you ever seen London play this, right? What do? They die over and over and over and over again, right? Why? Because they have no off angles. They have no cover. They're just playing for the objective. They're cheating the objective, and it's ridiculously hard to do. And you actually just die off of cooldown and somehow miraculously win one fight, and then you win an objective. And the difference between you guys, though, is that you are now essentially the spam comp, right? So you guys are going to be getting a lot of kills. So you have a significant positional and off angle advantage, and they're sacrificing it just to go for a point. Is that worth it? I actually don't think it's actually worth it. I actually think if they were smart, they would not fight on point versus you guys. I actually don't think they need to.
Okay.
But yeah, if they're going to, then you should take the entire map away from them.
Yeah. That makes sense when you put it that way. It was interesting to hear though, because if there's a strategy, just assume Milk got it from London. So Milk was like, okay, guys, listen.
Hey,
we're
man.
gonna sit on point, and even if we lose the fight, if it takes them like 80%, then we just win the map.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. It's a very good strategy for this particular point, because you can die slowly enough if you play your things really well.
Extremely slowly.
Right. But that's obviously not the case here. The tables have turned, right? So now you guys are the spam comp, and so the only way. I mean, I remember watching London playing this, and we coached this when we played London. When I was coaching London, we would play versus the good teams. Utilize windows like this. So they utilize windows like this. The bad teams would like park their BAP and their Ash or whatever up here and just try to spam to the choke and do nothing. You have to take off angles here.
That would definitely be, I think, all of our first instincts. So.
So like stuff like this, Maywall is okay, but like your Sojourn angle kind of sucks. Your Sojourn also wasted Disruptor shot. Your Lucio's we're kind of just like using cooldowns without really synchronizing our pressure. Because here's the thing, one of the things you guys might be thinking about is like you might get confused with 5-head in terms of 5-head is a passive taking off angles and poking. Sometimes, but also if we think about what was our 5-head push description here, what was our Rein doing?
He was running in like 2A.
Right. What was her Sojourn doing with Disruptor shot, right? And rail.
She was going on an off angle.
Getting this is super aggressive. This is not a passive poke angle. This is a get in there, right? Same thing with your Mei, right? Like your Mei might actually close distance push in here. So right, exactly. Yeah. It's more of a 5-head setup, but executed in a 2-head or 3-head execution. Like you are pushing.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when we are like doing that trident attack, are our targets Mei, Sim, BAP, or
yes.
Is there anyone else?
Yeah. Almost exclusively Mei, Sim, BAP. Yep. Just because those are going to be the ones that you don't have to kill the Rein because everyone's right here. If they were all like further back in the map point, then you'd probably need to focus the Rein shield a little bit, but you don't need to right now because everyone's just right there. And you guys are doing it. Like I wanna compliment your Mei here. That obviously besides the push timing, I like the split from the Rein. Like see how much value this is getting? The free freeze. You see this free lamp, right?
Yeah.
This is pretty good. Like you guys they're under a lot of pressure right now. But if you guys had synchronized that push there, and ultimately you guys are taking off angles, it's just not as sexy as I'd like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And it's not as synchronized either. Like even poke wars, like when you're playing like a Sigma mirror, if you could synchronize your peaks, just your peaks, it's really good.
We've been trying to do if like Sigma Ash, Sigma Widow to like call shielding. I don't know. It's probably above our pay grade in terms of. Oh yeah, there it is. It's probably above our pay grade. Oh, nice job, Bill. But we've been doing it anyways. Like on like Circuit Havana, we'll call 3-2-1 shield.
It's good.
And, like,
it's good.
Do it.
Remember the marriage of Overwatch is timing and angles, right? Timing and positioning.
Yeah.
So if you're able to get both the value of the 2-head and the value of the 5-head, you're gonna that's like elite level team play. That's what made like Shanghai so good for so long. That's what made teams like Atlanta this past
big
year.
field, by the way.
Yeah, excellent field. This grass never knew immortality truly until this moment. But yeah. Yeah,
part of your discussion on the KR game last time was like the best pushers have a little bit of both. They're not just all 5 run down, and they're also not like all 5 on a
totally passive. Right,
a little bit of both.
Yeah. Right. The setup's pretty good. I think your Sojourn angle could be even deeper here, like super aggro.
Okay.
And then the big thing here, frankly, is I want your Reinhardt to sell himself on this. Like, again, I don't want to be super niche with my advice here, but totally sell himself. Your Rein is going to die to their Blizzard. We don't care.
Okay.
We don't care.
Just like swing at 7, shatter 20.
Yeah, exactly. Just get in one swing, shatter, fire strike, just totally obliterate everybody on this rotation. Like that's kind of like what you want here. So you actually kind of screw yourself over with with the TP. Like I would let them teleport, frankly. Like I would let them teleport just so that your Rein can get the cleave on the teleport because you actually screw yourself over with it, Maywell. Yeah. Yeah,
we tried to kite a little bit, but I don't think that was the right play.
I mean, it's honestly not the end of the world because it did use all 3 of their Brawl ults instantly. So, like, is it the end of the world? Not really. And you guys are about to get a mother of all blizzards as well. So,
surely.
I mean, yeah, it's a 3-man freeze. Wow. Yeah, it's a 3-man freeze too.
Not used to that. my Blizzard game is subpar. I just assume that I whiff.
This is such a weird dynamic. Seeing a Brawl comp play like it's playing versus spam for point. It's odd.
Yeah, we were not expecting
this. This is like pinnacle 4-3 strats where it's like good but like still kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It's like not the most dumb thing, but also any good team. Yeah, okay, Cam went a little deep, I would say. Did he get beat? Why did he go like that?
Yeah.
Oh. He's moving in.
I mean, this is all right. This is all right.
It's just
it's just mechanical misplays. Like if I freeze frame this right here. First off, obviously that's a disaster.
What, whiffing shatter? Or?
Yeah, whiffing shatter. Second off, the beat only catches 3 of you. So we don't as clean this up as we'd liked, right? Yeah. In addition with that, like this BAP should be dead. Like this guy should just be dead. Like I look at this and it just makes me weep. Like he's standing inside of you guys. Like he fields late and then your May gets pinned. Do you have ice block as well? You do have ice block. I think
I do.
Yeah. Like this is where I actually think y'all's setup was okay. You just execution was just horrible.
Like bad shatter, no ice block.
Bad shatter, bad ice block, right. The only thing I will say here is I think your Baptiste needs to be a little bit more careful with this positioning just because you are a TP target. Like, like this team didn't need to be super cute because your BAP is just standing here. You guys, they could have just teleported and killed your BAP instantly. The whole team could have teleported on top of your BAP. So what I'd probably do is maybe have your Baptiste playing in the high ground here to where you can drop and do sort of like ganky kind of stuff here. And then if you want to support your Sojourn, have a Lucio here instead. That way, because you can't really TP on a Lucio Sojourn, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and our Rein May isn't going to try and close the distance for playing objective. So probably just trade our Lucio and BAP positioning.
That's it.
Have like the main 3 on point. And
that's it. That's it. Exactly. That's it. Exactly. It wasn't a terrible setup though. Like again, I'm not trying to like teach the micro too detailed here. Just a general impression. It was all right. It was okay.
Because then if they TP on the Sim Lucio or the Soj Lucio, you just boop and slide away. It's like
it does nothing. Accomplishes nothing. We need to play slow here for BAP window. Rein touches, take angles, Trident. Yeah, this is just there's just not enough Trident positioning here. And then obviously
we're all in the front 2 windows. None of us are in the left.
And again, I understand that Lucio boop is a threat, but that's the price you have to pay. That is the one map control advantage they have is the Lucio boop. That's the only advantage they have. Okay. Any questions?
They're different now. Yeah, no, I actually think that was pretty informative. I think the same lessons can apply to Nepal Village because it's very similar.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure, for sure. So you just got to find out like
opponents.
Right, you just got to find out like what angles are you going to be taking. Usually it's going to be over the top, you know, over the top, leveraging point, different pincer approaches, and again, like the key thing is to 2-head your 5-head. That's it.
I'm actually curious. Could you go and open a custom Nepal Village game and show me where the Trident would be on Nepal Village?
Sure. So are you talking about specifically point they're holding on point?
Nah, they're holding like the back
inside
area.
the room.
Yeah.
I watch this.
We've done this and we've had teams do this.
Check this out. Check this out. First try.
Why is this not a feature yet?
See?
Oh my god, you did it. Wait, it is a feature. You just had this voice activated.
Yeah, it's voice activated. Yes.
Like in the fire hood.
So yeah, exactly. So you're saying that you're on point and they're in here?
No, like
here?
The team, it's basically the same comp, and the team that is controlling the point is like
playing
where you're standing and
here.
in the back of in the back in the
Are you guys playing Brawl MIrror? What are you guys playing?
Brawl MIrror.
Brawl MIrror. What's your DPS?
Mason.
Okay, so really all you do here is you first off you get a really nice wall here.
Yeah. Because they have to touch, and you don't want their BAP touching.
You get your nice wall here. You have your Rein May Lucio 2-head push here. And then if you want to get super sexy with it, have your Symmetra TP right here.
Okay.
And solo TP harass, and then just go back to here.
Yeah, like solo TP, shoot a shot, teleport back.
Solo TP, shoot a shot, just harass. Basically, you're just trying to be in a total ass with their BAP sim as well, and just pull their attention in this direction, and then live.
Okay.
Besides that, it's kind of tricky. Like if it's a sim MIrror, especially the number of angles that you can take are a little bit limited. But it's not the end of the world. Like another thing you could do as well is that you could put a lot of pressure on their Rein on point without even peeking. Like you could have like your sim here, your May BAP here, your Lucio here, and like where's the cover for them?
There isn't.
Right. Yeah, so you don't even have to peek their backline. You can actually just shoot their Rein May and punish this here and punish this here, break his shield, then walk forward, take space, wall the second that they touch, and at the same time have your Symmetra TP.
Because they'll have to touch. Yeah. And if their Rein is the only one touching and their BAP and Lucio's in the back room, he'll just die.
What ends up happening is that the team that controls point is usually the team at the fight disadvantage. It's the same thing as the previous thing. Because if for you guys to then push, you then get off angle from multiple different directions and so on. The only difference is that I think there's a little bit more space for you guys to disengage and back up this way. Whereas if your Rein's here, he could go 3, 2, 1, bam, and slam in, right? And there's nowhere really for them to go. But just shoot what's on point, then decisively take point. Then honestly, you can either consider like just backing your Rein off to here and letting them go on point again and then pushing in again. It becomes like this weird shuffle where nobody really wants to stand on point, basically. And so, that's the main takeaway.
Okay, when you were saying the team holding point is the team with the disadvantage, is that the case in like most control points or just these two that we're discussing?
Most control points. Most control points don't provide enough cover to justify, like think about Legion Night Market, right? Legion Control Center is not terrible, but even then, like you leave yourself having your white room cleared. I think the only one where controlling point is a major advantage, I think, would be like actually fighting on point would be Legion Garden, because you end up having to walk through a really nasty choke retaking from white. You guys remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the choke you're talking about.
Yeah, for most of the time, like have controlling point, you don't really want to fight on point. Let's put it that way. Usually, most of the time.
I guess I knew that, but it was subconscious. I didn't really think about it till now.
Right. Like Legion Night Market, most of the time you would not want to fight on point if you're controlling it unless you absolutely have to. Like in a Brawl MIrror, you would always want to try and take the fight outside of point if you can, so that you can control more off angles and have more cover and so on. Because by going to point, it becomes pretty easy for them to just pressure your Rein and May on point by doing the exact same thing. You're just peppering from off angles.
Okay. Yeah, like Busan, Samoa, Nepal, all of them have like low grounds on point. A lot of times.
Yeah. Well, it's balanced like that. So the team that controls the objective has a disadvantage in terms of the fight. So it tends to kind of go back and forth.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no
worries.
Back
to the Ilios.
All right, sounds good. Yep. Go back just a tad here. So compositional matchup. Give me the TLDR. Give me how do you win, and what off angles you want to control.
I say Tracer Lucio left side where their Tracer is probably.
Sure.
I think our Soj is in a fine spot.
Sure.
Want to have someone shooting on a brig, even if it's not like super threatening, just to like make them at least not control or not have to use like every cooldown on their team. You know, if you can get something out, that's good. Even one armor pack.
Let me give you guys the bad news: is that you guys had the right idea here, but the execution is pretty sloppy. First things first. I think you need to control space here, but you need to kind of be complementing each other right now. The problem with what's happening here is that your Lucio loses a duel. And is your Tracer actually like harassing and forcing CDs on backline? Not really either. So you've basically, you put your Lucio on a Tracer, he lost that duel. You put your Tracer on backline, you didn't really do much there, and you still got anti-nated. And then nobody's controlling this Echo anymore. So I want you guys to coach the micro of the setup again. Lucio, Tracer working together. Okay, what does that actually mean?
Tracer blink to high ground. Milk actually pointed that out earlier when we were watching, that I should have been with him on high ground.
You should have been with him on high ground. And then what does that mean for their Tracer?
They have to back up.
So she backs up. So she backs up. And then what do you guys do from this position?
We can pincer probably just the back line.
You got it.
Yeah.
You can actually threaten and harass backline, like be an actual threat in the backline. Okay, so then with that setup there, you've controlled their tracer. She's out of the fight. You're also putting pressure on their backline. How does this fight feel now?
A lot
Feels
better.
way better.
We have left side. Our cages fight is like probably a lot better if they're not even looking at the Winston.
Right. You notice here that really your Sojourn is actually not even the one that's under a lot of pressure here. Like she's actually totally egoing this. She's totally safe. Your Kiriko, I mean, even though you got your Suzu Force, which was really unfortunate, your Sojourn is actually totally fine. Your Kiriko is totally fine. Your Kiriko, Junker Queen is also totally fine. It's the Lucio that is forced out of the mirror and then has to rotate in the open on the transition back. That feels bad. When you're playing Lucio, that's what makes Lucio weak, is if you have to move from point A to point B, ironically, the hero with speed is bad. Right? That's why a lot of people play Brig, where you can hold an angle and then also pocket an angle without having to physically move. So the big thing there is that you needed your Lucio Tracer to actually win the duel, win that angle, because otherwise this wouldn't have happened. And I also don't want you guys to think of it as like, oh, we don't want to mark their Tracer, we want to go for their backline. That's bad. That's bad psychology. Because how do you get to their backline? Who's stopping you from getting to their backline?
The Tracer. The
Tracer. So if you force the Tracer out, now you have an opportunity to go for your backline. You control more space than they do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, when I was learning Tracer at the start, one of the things I failed to understand was that Tracer didn't need to like blink in 3 times to like be a threat. She could just sit in like a corner and just like be there and be a nuisance.
That's it. That's it exactly. And crucially here, it's also more resource efficient as well, because if you're thinking about like how are you going to be able to get to the backline, if you're able to force a Tracer out first, then you're going to be able to have all of your blinks. You're going to be able to get close. Like that's what makes Lucio better than Brig. Brig can do a lot of things all over the fight, but wherever a Lucio is, you're just going to win. Like Lucio plus Tracer is, hear me out, is better than any other support combo plus Tracer in terms of that specific spot.
Even Zen?
Even Zen. Because Zen can't play with Tracer. Zen can help Tracer from afar, but like how does Zen help Tracer from afar here?
Harmony and Discord. Oh, well, here, no. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's the physical presence of a flanker plus a sub-Lucio. That in that specific spot, there is not a better support in the game at controlling that spot. Not Moira plus Tracer, not Kiriko plus Tracer, nothing. Not Brig plus Tracer, nothing. Because you are in that range, that short range, the best +1 in the game.
Huh, okay.
Now, your limitations are what Zen can do better is help from afar and help multiple different spots. And Kiriko, if she starts to lose, unlike Lucio, can immediately move to a different spot without... Right? That doesn't happen, okay? But in terms of that specific spot, Lucio's OP. This is very good.
Better than Moira surprises me, because like I mean Moira's bad, but a 2v1 versus a Moira in anything is like impossible, it seems.
Well, think about it this way. When you're playing Lucio, what positions can you play? What angles can you take with your Tracer?
Oh, you mean she can go a lot,
anywhere,
go a lot more aggressive than Moira.
All over, high grounds, short grounds, low grounds, anywhere. And then in addition to that, what we just definitely pointed out, Lucio being a little bit bad at disengaging from an angle that he's losing, Moira's way worse. If Moira gets her, like let's say Moira Tracer's here, and the Tracer gets a good clip in Moira, she fades, she's dead.
Yeah, because she's not going to be able to cross that
gap. She's not going to be able to close. Whereas if you're Lucio Tracer and you start to lose here, you can disengage out this way, retake high ground, you're probably okay. Yeah, that plus old economy and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, big thing here, I want my Tracer, if you got, the setup that you guys described was fine. You could have also done this. You could have had your Lucio Sojourn playing together here aggressively and had your Tracer go solo, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That would have also worked.
To pick one.
That would have also worked, right? Like there's different, like let's put it this way. There's different ways to interpret the 5-head setup here. It's up to you guys. You guys can do whatever you want. But just when you have a support that's doing nothing or playing by himself, you can have problems. And this is another stylistic choice as well, where the Junker Queen actually goes for backline instead of going for the Winston. Based off of what we see here, who should the Junker Queen go for here? Backline or Winston?
I think Monkey.
I actually think, okay, so this is a trick question. The answer is either one.
Yeah, I was like, you just got to pick one.
The reason why it's either one is actually you could almost whip out your ruler here. Which one's closer?
They're like both the same distance.
They're like both the same distance, right? Like obviously these guys are closer, but they're behind cover. This guy's a little bit more accessible. So if your Junker Queen was positioned here, I would say Winston. If your Junker Queen was positioned here, I'd say backline. But she's positioned kind of in between, which is fine. That's good. And you just choose whatever one you want. Like if you hear a sleep dart or something, or if you hear nade, or you know the Winston's messed up and you pulled him, then go for the Winston. Yeah, that's what makes Junker Queen good. Is she's not really a good dive tank and she's not really good peel tank, but she's kind of okay at both. So you kind of choose what's available to you.
Yeah,
like for example, you hit a knife there. Yeah, and so it's a good play. Now, obviously, you lose the fight, but I think the overall play of the Junker Queen in terms of strategy there was solid. Same thing here. Use your Lucio. It's like you guys are taking turns. There you go.
Yeah,
no, stay.
Milk was saying this. Milk was saying that we were literally like going in, out, like just not playing together at all.
Yeah. And the problem here is I was trying to work on this with Custa the other day. Is just like, who are you peeling here?
Nobody.
Right. You have a Kiriko, right? Your Sojourn will slide. She would prefer you to mark the Tracer. Your Kiriko needs TP, right? So like, and now your Tracer's not necessarily going to win the duel. Your Tracer's actually kind of losing the duel. And so then now you're going over here, but it's already been like, the damage has already been kind of done. Like we should be deepening here, pushing with your Sojourn sliding even further, right? But now we're like, this push is kind of late. And then you go back to peel the Sojourn. And again, it's that awkward transition point. When honestly, at this point in time, let your Kiriko Sojourn handle things. Go trade backlines with your Queen Tracer. Why? Because where were you to start, Milk?
I was already like closer
you were
to that.
Already here. So you might as well just continue the value that you were there. It's the same kind of question that we had with the Junker Queen, where I know you're fast, but you're not fast enough to do anything here. And actually, you're pretty fragile. Your hero's dynamic. Bless the hero designers, because they gave you a choice with what you want to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Not Orisa or Bastion.
Not Orisa or Bastion, right? Yeah. Does that make sense in terms of basic setup?
Yeah. Well, I was also the Woke Pulse. I Kobe it for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. But yeah, the TLDR is that Lucio can +1 either Sojourn, either DPS, whatever. If you're playing like a Zenyatta or Ana, you can +1 that one too. And then take an angle with that. Synchronize your pressure. You could even have your flanker calling when they're peeking. Like, hey, Tracer's like, we're pushing with Lucio. Queen start to walk forward. Sojourn start to peek. And then your backline responds. I think that's a really, really good starting point to understand this composition. And the best part about that setup is it applies to everything that you guys will play versus, including a mirror. So if you run out into a dive comp here, if you run into a brawl comp here, if you run into a Junker Queen comp, if you run into anything, you can kind of still have a general same setup and it will still work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you don't have to change your macro fight plan a lot depending on their comp.
Now the details of the setup might change, right? Like for example, if we're playing, like all of a sudden they roll out an Widowmaker, right? You might have your Sojourn taking a more aggressive angle than she would otherwise, right? You might be okay with having your Tracer going a solo flank. You might have your Junker Queen squeeze up a lot further forward, but the overall principle of a DPS on off angle +1 with a Lucio, Kiri, and so on is pretty much similar.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Like, what should we be doing, or
what do you guys think of the setup right here?
Oh, where's Milk?
I died. I fell.
Oh, you died. Okay.
I think it was okay, but I'd like to see the Tracer probably on left to just have another angle.
Sure, especially even if you're down one, it's even more important to hold an off angle because that's the only way that you clutch a lost fight, right? It's like the hide and to do something cheesy. Like even here, this is where if you get caught, like let's find out why you're here. Poking Winston. If you hear this, I think there's a good argument for this.
Yeah, 100%.
Just take what angle is given to you. Just something to consider.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Good clutch though. Good clutch. It was a good Queen ult. Really good Queen ult.
Yeah, Queen ult was definitely really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to incorporate. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, I think we need to incorporate. If we are down one, like playing a lot more, gank playstyle, like not at 5 death ball because we're 4 death ball, right?
Right. You got it.
I don't think that's something we do enough.
Right. I think that's a situation where, like, actually, if you think about it in a way, your Sojourn actually soft carried this fight. It's a weird way of thinking about it, but look at what she did early in this fight, right? So she's holding a solo angle, right? She's got her slide. Let's actually go back a little bit further. Oh wait, I'm going way too far back. Okay, so it's this one. Yeah, this one here. So after you guys win this fight here, so she actually carries this fight because she holds her angle even when you're down 1. So look at the enemy team's response. So first off, because of her angle, look at how much damage that she gets in the Junker Queen early, right? Lot of damage with the copy. Because of her angle, look at the attention the Winston gives, right? So the Winston, instead of trading on your Kiriko and forcing Suzu and teleport, only forces slide, and then he gets his bubble forced. He's been totally MIA this entire fight. This is a terrible trade for a Winston.
Yeah.
Bubble for slide, not a good trade. And so
he had to contest that angle or else.
And he had to contest that angle. Eating. Right, exactly. So even though perk doesn't exactly like pop off here, the early pressure on Queen, the early force of Winston jump just made you guys 2-head so much easier because you had an angle.
Yeah. And their Winston was just gone.
So, right, when we're talking about gank, it's stuff like that soft carries fights.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going very surface level over this stuff, so if you guys have any like more specific questions, let me know. I just don't want to coach how do you play Junker Queen comp into Winston Echo and Ilios well.
Yeah, because it's like if it's too specific, you can't bring it to anything.
It's too specific.
Else.
We want something that's going to be more broadly helping you guys in general, regardless of what they play. Like here, for example, what sucks about this here? Like I assume that there's like an ult plan that has to do with this, but like what's really bad with this?
Why is my Kiriko frontlining?
Why is my Kiriko frontlining? Why are both of my DPS like kind of like hovering in Narnia?
Yeah,
right. And Lucio is peeling himself. Like I'm not even sure like what's going on here. Like the problem with the Kiriko there is like you guys, what did you guys get traded for Suzu there?
Jump for TP.
Jump for TP plus
and, like,
Suzu,
uplink, maybe.
a beam,
That's
right?
it.
Like it's a really bad trade. There wasn't enough pressure from that angle to justify it. Now I like this. But like this gives a huge window of vulnerability for your Kiriko. Oh my days.
She kind of shit on this Tracer.
Okay. But yeah, that's not what we want.
You don't want to rely on that.
Don't want to rely on that. But that being said, I do want to rely off of this stuff. Would have liked you guys to work together a little bit more. Like honestly, Milk, I think you could have stayed. I think you should have stayed. This is where like again, like you cannot help your Kiriko.
Yeah.
She's either
if she doesn't
dead,
hit that shot, she's dead.
right, and you can't peel this. She's either going to TP or she's going to die. Like that's all you can really do. So if you actually the boop here was actually what wins you this fight, but you could have kept going here, right? You could have kept going here. You could have actually finished this kill whether you hit the pulse or not, right? That's the way to look at it.
Oh yeah, one Lucio bullet probably would have killed the Brig.
You got it. But at least that initial burst of you guys working together on that angle is what wins you guys this fight. Right? That's exactly what wins you guys this fight. So
because the boop is really good.
Right. Even doing the right thing 20% of the time, it will help. Will help. This setup is cool. Because if they jump your Kiriko Sojourn now, yes, it's going to force the same CDs, but you know it's going to be a lot more expensive.
And it's like the fight earlier with Sojourn where we could go on their backline in the meantime.
Right. Again, Milk, I think just think like, where do I want to be right now? I think you're thinking a lot about like countering their push here, but in all honesty, like you could be already wall riding up here. You could be +1ing your Sojourn. You could be honestly even playing with your Queen here. Like if you're not really sure, because I understand this setup is super awkward for you, and I don't really think that you could be helping your Tracer this directly, right? But at the very least, just play with your Queen. Just for your just to assist her a little bit more, and then also so you can get a little bit of early damage. I know they naded you earlier, but we saw how that went, right?
Yeah.
You get naded, you just backed off, and it was fine. Hey, okay, I'm fine. I have my amp, right? And like that's actually kind of bad for them too, because the naded Lucio is not an easy target to follow up on.
Yeah.
I think the overclock was early.
Yes.
That's my instinction.
Yes,
but
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Like they had made 0 commitments at all. So yes.
Okay.
The fact
I
that
thought
Winston,
so, but I didn't want to like flame him without being correct.
Yeah, the fact that your Winston is taking their Winston is taking no damage is that's the damnation right there, right? Like you're not always going to be able to get squishy kills here, but you at least want to force bubble and primal and nano defensively. And just now as it happened, and the overclock is now expiring.
Yeah.
That being said, I do appreciate the proactivity with the angle there, forcing slide, forcing bubble, forcing nano, and then you guys can easily respond and punish. Again here, though, I would not be so attentive on peeling backwards. You see this? Again, it's where are you at right now? So what should you do?
I mean, I can't really help too much with the Winston.
Right.
So I probably just go help Queen.
Go help Queen. Go help keep these guys honest. Mark this. Poke their Tracer from this angle here. Harass, poke, poke, poke. Right, because you can't, again, you can't. And the problem is with this rotation is it's not just, okay, because you have beat, you have a little bit more leeway to do what you want. But remember, it's these crossings that have killed you in the past, right? Yeah. It's the transitions. This is where you're going to go back and peel, and you're going to get naded, and then you're going to die to Nano Winston if you don't have beat, right? Now, would you do this if you didn't have beat? I don't know, but we've seen you do it before. So I just want you to be aware of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it's like, hey, I'm helping, but no, you're not. You're not. And then now the Brigitta's walking forward, and now your Junker Queen's kind of vulnerable and so on. And there it is, right? Like, there it is. Like, she didn't just die from Echo and Winston. She died for the backline that walled up on top of her as well. You know, now that's actually insanity. But honestly, like, that, where were you, right?
She blew up.
Yeah, she absolutely blew up. Okay, I think, is that going to be it? You guys clutch us up?
No. I get a boop on a rally, but
it was pretty close.
Wait, really? All right. I want to see it.
It was pretty close to being clutched up. We get like opening picks, I think.
Yeah, this fight goes on really long.
Like much longer than you might expect.
I want to see the rally boop here.
Oh, just a 3-minute overtime session.
Yeah. Bye, rally.
I coached I think it was a Silver Genji on this map before. And it was a 3-minute overtime. I'm not joking. There was like Roadhog and Wrecking Ball and stuff, and actually nothing died. Like, it was the longest overtime I've ever seen ever.
Do you remember like very low elo when there was Orisa Sigma on that map?
Yes.
The overtime would actually go on for like minutes on end.
It's unreal. Yeah, it was unreal. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, not really.
What are you guys seeing as being like the easiest actionable new stuff? Crap to work on.
Probably just thinking about our setups at the start of the fight a little more. I think we need to start incorporating, like, if we're down one, take more angles and stop for death balling kind of thing.
Sure. Well, what about your setups needs to change? Let's be specific.
Okay, like at the start, we want to try and have Lucio +1 with someone, and we want to try and have like more consistency on like who's frontlining, who's not frontlining, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then control angles probably. I mean, that's always the key, but it's definitely easier to like do it at the start of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Where you want to start on the good angles, and then even if they force you out, at least they had to like do something about it, you know?
Right. I wanted to see better setups with your +1s, right? I want to see less crossing back and forth with your Lucio. I want to see better timing and communication between your Lucio and Tracer. Obviously, we talked a little bit about the Brawl MIrror stuff with your Sojourn. I think your Kiriko, obviously, maybe not so much frontlining. I want your Kiriko to be a little bit more self-sufficient, and we don't want to be thinking about peeling for our Kiriko, because that's a mistake. Okay. That screws your Kiriko over. That was something that, again, like with Karku, just even the last couple of days that we've been working on, because like every single time Costa goes back to Karku, he dies because he doesn't have a TP target. So just something to keep in mind.
Is your Curious TP target most commonly Lucio?
No. But crucially, think about it this way. Because your Lucio was +1ing an angle, that allows the angle to play more aggressively, which means that angle is able to stand there and hold that position, which gives you TP, Tracer, Sojourn, an actual opportunity. If your Lucio is not +1ing your Tracer will lose the angle, and your Tracer plays closer to core, which ruins your Kiriko TP. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Right.
You're able to be further away if you have going in the squad.
Exactly. Whoever your Lucio is helping is able to play more aggressively, which indirectly allows you to get a safer teleport.
Yeah, it makes sense.
As well as forcing the cooldowns early, that prevents them from chasing after the teleport. Because as we saw earlier, when your Kiriko is holding an angle basically by herself and nobody else is putting pressure, it's really easy to force a teleport and then continue to chase. Angle here is fine. because this is where like I don't want us to be like all in on the Lucio +1 DPS build, because there's obviously situations when like helping Queen is really good here. I would prefer the Kiriko to be maybe a little bit sneakier with her off angle here, but this is okay. Like this is where like Milk is helping tank, and it's good value here. So I'm all right with that. In addition to that, maybe you're thinking like this is like too deep for Lucio. I'm okay with this. Now the question is the priority is that because you're here, you need to be asking yourself like, what is my contribution here as Lucio?
I can help my Queen get out if need be, and if we get their Queen low, I can help us to like actually follow up on it, like
sure.
her into us.
Sure. So you're making one big mistake. You are going, if this happens, I can do this. If this happens, I can do this. But you're not creating those situations. You're not creating advantages. So you're basically saying you're playing a life weaver is what you're doing. If something goes wrong, I have an answer for it. But what makes something go right? Okay. Because the problem is right now is you're looking at this with your Lucio, and your Tracer's getting no help, and she's losing the off angle, and we're also not really winning the fight on core either. That's your fault. So what do you need to do to create advantages for your team?
Something I try to do a lot is just like boop someone into us. Like in this would probably be Queen.
Sure. So you don't even necessarily need to use a cooldown here, right? Like an amp, right? All you need to do here is, how about this? Put some pressure on this Genji.
Okay.
You know, shoot this Genji. Make the Moira stop healing the Queen to heal the Genji. That gives you an advantage in the tank trade. Right?
Yeah.
Because where's their Lucio? Is he shooting your Kiriko? Is he shooting your Sojourn? No, he's not. He's doing nothing. He's helping his Tracer win an off angle, right? And then piggybacking off of what you said there, if you come around this angle here and you boop this Sojourn in, or the Sojourn, Jungle Queen in or out, who's going to be winning the tank trade HP?
Our tank will be.
Right. You guys will, right? So yeah, you have the right idea, but I don't want you to be like, oh, if something goes wrong or if something goes right. I want you to create the scenario where something goes right for your team.
Okay.
And try to do that, obviously, without using your amp. But even if you have to use your amp to get a huge HP advantage, like you're trying here, but you're failing. Like you're not putting enough pressure on Genji. You didn't hit the boop there. And so, yes, you're kind of winning the HP trade, but you're not doing it as much as I would have liked. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's fine. Your setup was fine. But if you're going to be here, I want to see you winning the tank trade. Nice.
Nice boop.
Yeah, nice boop. Very nice boop. And I know I'm putting a lot of pressure on you. But I really think Lucio is like the crux of this composition. I think everything revolves around where your Lucio is playing and what your Lucio is doing.
Okay. There's
a reason why teams hire Lucio OTPs and Brawl metas, right? Character is irreplaceable. Somebody's good at Lucio, irreplaceable. People like Admiral, Funny Astro, they're world-class talent, you know, even though they might not always be showing up in the kill feed. I think we talked about it in stream yesterday. It's like Lucio is the most important one-trick support. Maybe the most important one-trick character in the game besides Tracer. Yeah, okay. Nice chase from the Tracer.
I feel like I've become a Tracer one-trick over the course of this meta.
Yeah?
I did not think she would be good.
Yeah. I wasn't sure either. I was kind of torn on how easy she'd be able to shoot, but I think she's overall benefited from the chains more than she's been hurt by the changes here. Good pressure on the Genji there. Good disengage there.
It's a micro interaction, but it's actually insane that you don't get headshot one-tapped by Mei and Ashe. That's like insane.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is. And the Kiriko matchup as well is a little bit more favorable, too.
Yeah.
This is just a bad teleport, frankly. Your Lucio is doing exactly what he needs to be doing. Tracer is doing exactly what he needs to be doing. This Genji is dead in about 2 seconds, and you should be teleporting to the far angle. I don't care about your Sojourn, because remember, what does your Sojourn have?
Slide.
Right. Let your Sojourn do her own thing. But... And so now your Kiriko is dead.
My bad, team.
Yes, you are very bad. Ha! We will now point and laugh.
And then I go to try to help, but I shouldn't have.
Right, exactly. That's actually a great point here. So now we can make fun of our Lucio again. Nice. I'm so excited. Yeah, stay on the Genji. Yeah, I see you go back, and now the Genji lives. Whereas maybe there's an opportunity here to either trade Moira or Lucio or Genji and so on. But yeah, exactly.
All right, I will stop peeling for Kiba.
Yes.
Yeah, please do.
Let's put it this way: peel with who you're at, with where you're at. Whether that's Queen, Lucio, Ana, whatever.
I've been learning Kiri like I've just been like learning Curie for like the past like during this meta.
Yeah. I mean, she's actually really hard. Really, I think she's really, really hard in this particular matchup. Yeah.
Same with Tracer.
Yeah.
Not easy.
I don't think there's any heroes in this matchup. I think everyone's role is complicated.
Okay, Moira, come on.
I think Moira's hard in this matchup. I think she's really hard.
In this matchup, yeah.
You have to be super disciplined with your CDs. You have to position yourself really smart. You have to know who to +1. Your orb usage is important. Your fade usage is important.
That's fair.
Trust me, I was coaching a top 500 Moira on Tuesday.
I saw that. I saw that.
There were a lot of mistakes. And that's not just that player in general. There's a lot of things that you have to improve in.
Is Moira insane right now, or is that the new trend?
She's okay. People are over-exaggerating a little bit because, people always jump the new trend more so than they should.
Yeah.
But the right-click damage is like pretty strong. It's more than the HP buff, right? I think she received the biggest increase in damage, maybe up there with Winston's Zap, in terms of her output. Like, it's actually insane. That, and also like when the meta shifts towards these more like Brawl divey style hybrids, like she's going to be more attractive.
I was making fun of my Sojourn. Was that fair?
Here?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what the frick is going on. You guys have
Brawl, me neither, bro.
You guys have Brawl ults to match. Like, you guys have Beat. You guys have you guys have Kiriko ult as well. Like, there's no reason for you to be playing in Narnia here. I'm wondering, like, because you guys' initial setup here looks okay. Like, Lucio, Tracer kind of working and marking the angle. Kiriko maybe a little bit too aggressive here. But yeah, the Sojourn is...
Where is my Sojourn? Why is she playing like Widow?
I don't know.
Pux on TikTok is fine.
Actually, yeah. Actually, why is my Sojourn throwing exclamation mark, question mark, and he throwing some random emojis? Yeah, I mean, the reason why that's such a big issue is because you guys have no pressure, you guys didn't lose the cooldown trade. And so then you lose the cooldown trade.
Space.
You lose space, you lose the cooldown trade, you have to double support ultimate. And so now you probably have lost this fight, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I made fun of my Sojourn player.
Yes, that's good. DPS players deserve rights.
Exactly.
No, specifically Widow players.
Yes, that's a good specification.
When you were at the content creator like summit thing, you should have asked for like Widow nerfs, right? Like, come on.
Well, yeah, that would have been redundant because what they actually had is they had us line up, and this is technically under NDA, but I'm gonna tell you guys anyway. And they said, which of you guys are DPS players? And then they had this really big mallet, and they just put your hands out, and they just bam, none of them made it out alive.
Extracted.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Had a whole line of coffins. It was pretty morbid.
All right, boys, this VOD will no longer be uploaded to YouTube.com.
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Blizzard. I don't give a rip. They deserve to be applauded for their approach to DPS players. So, okay, let's grade our setup here. Like, you guys have enough information about like what feels good here, and ultimately don't just be like, hey, my Lucio's on an angle, therefore it's good. Remember, we got to ask like which angle should my Lucio be on? Like, what makes the most sense with their setup right now?
We're missing one critical member of the enemy team that will come back to bite us.
Right. Well, okay, I agree with that here, but we're looking at this from like a concept perspective of like,
if Genji wasn't there, not bad. Although I'd probably want Milk to be instead of in between Perk and Cam or Maba, in between me and Maba.
Okay,
but that's probably just me.
Milk. Where do you think you should be here? I have a pretty good idea. What do you think?
Me or
Milk?
I think I should be helping Tracer.
I agree. I agree.
Deal with, like,
I agree. But I actually think there's somebody that's even more important given the situation.
Are we thinking about the Genji now?
No.
Is it Perk? Because
it's Perk.
They have Blade and then just run him down.
Well, you're overthinking it just a little bit. Does Perk have a really aggressive, powerful off angle right now?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Like I think that, by the way, if you went with Tracer here, that would also be excellent. That'd be great. Big pat in the head, nice job. But I think here is a good situation where Perk might be slightly better, just because Perk could be so egotistical here with the Lucio pocket.
Okay.
Especially with the ult and all that kind of stuff. But I think this would be a situation where like you just have to read the setup here, and let's see if you had information here. You know, you need to be looking for this, right? Like, okay, Tracer, okay, Sojourn, I'm gonna go help this and Mark because they want. Yeah, and there it is. You see it? You see it? You see it? You see it? You see it?
Yeah.
Like that was in there. See?
He just got disintegrated. Yeah.
Right. But we could have predicted that. Even if the Genji was with his team, he's gonna go for your Sojourn because she's on a power position. So you need to mark that angle because that's the most powerful angle that you guys have. Remember when we were talking about Ilios, the first round, right? When I said, where should our Lucio be? We were trying to decide between Mei and Sojourn. Why did I like Sojourn more than Mei in that particular situation?
Because they're going to run on Sojourn.
Why are they going to run on Sojourn?
Because she's more vulnerable in that position.
She's more vulnerable.
Than a Mei or a Tracer.
Exactly. But she's more vulnerable, but also she's more valuable is the idea. So if you have a grief angle with your Sojourn, either that grief angle dies instantly or it carries the fight. There's no in between. Right?
High risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward. And wherever there's high risk, high reward, we want support. We want support. Does that make sense? Whereas your Tracer is like your high risk. Is there any risk here? No, it's low risk. It's low risk, low reward. So would your Lucio get value here? Absolutely, it would be great. But you probably would be more valuable over here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just like less than necessary. I mean, there's 2 megas, 3
pretty
blinks,
much
and a recall.
Pretty much. There's other situations
we still
where it's
win.
like,
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Well, you win because your setup wasn't actually all that bad. Like your Tracer did a lot of good work, forced a lot of CDs and lived, and then they overextended on the push. So it was good. Okay, let's look at our setup again. And also things like, the ultimates that you have change the setup as well. Whereas like, let's say that you guys had a Genji with Blade, your Lucio might want to play more with the Genji just to make sure that play actually works.
Where should the Sojourn be in this instance?
You tell me.
When our team is pushed up, I was thinking maybe more like across from the point about what that Genji is on the enemy team's high ground.
Like up here?
Yeah.
Probably a little aggressive. You would have to disengage pretty soon. I would just say don't overthink it. Just hold here or poke here or even stack on main earlier because I don't think you guys are actually going to fight here, right?
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I would probably say like where you're like in front of your Kiriko but behind your queen.
Yeah,
I mean because it's like you're kind of stacking,
poke.
but it's okay to stack in this context.
Okay, and then I'll fall back to around where he is now.
Yeah, sure. Just fall back to here, like mid-fight. Once the fight actually starts, retake your angle. Also, yeah, exactly.
Okay, 6.
And then if we want to push, like let's say we wanted to actually like fight here, where could Perk go from this angle?
He could slide around to where Sky was talking about if they like left that on contested.
Either top right, top left,
top left. Yeah, exactly.
Or even in a little middle high ground.
You got it. So you guys know, you guys like, especially once I'm feeding you a couple of details here and there, you guys are spitting out facts.
Yeah. I'm new to like playing with these guys just because I'm Masters and I'm bad.
Yeah, wait a second. I'm Masters, dude. Screw you, man. Screw you, man.
Hey, Spilo, why are you Masters? This is unacceptable.
Bro, I play the game like 4 hours a week, if even that. Not even.
Why is ranked hard?
Mabadogs plays the game 1 hour a week, if that. But
I just got ranked because Milk played Doom on.
Yes, but I'm Masters on all roles. You see what I'm saying?
True. Milk is Diamond on this other rules. Milk is Diamond. Let it be known.
Okay, scratch that. I'm currently Diamond at the moment because
I think I'm currently I think I'm currently the only GM on this team right now.
Well, listen. I have extenuating circumstances that mean I can't really, can't really bring in my main account.
Yeah, see, this guy throws stones and then can't handle it being chucked right back at him.
Hey, man.
Again, here, you guys are. This feels terrible, by the way. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Nah, it was just dumb trash talk. Go on.
This dumb trash talk, right? That's right. Any trash talk directed my way is dumb. Look, this setup is like actually like Dookie cheeks. Like what is Tracer on point? Dookie cheeks. I'm making up terms. Bear with me. All right. So like, who is your Lucio appealing? What angle is my Tracer holding? What angle is my Sojourn holding? This is just sucks.
The whole left side's not even being contested.
Left side's not even contested. And like the problem with that is it makes it actually so easy for this Genji to just wrap from here and just instantly get onto your Sojourn with Blade. Like, and also their queen is taking like actually no damage.
This is kind of a clown fiesta. I won't lie.
Yeah, it just.
Where's my Lucio player?
Wait, what happened here? Oh my gosh, you got knifed and then you got boobed. You got actually launched. Yeah, this is just a really, really bad setup, frankly. You guys win this because, ults, but...
we don't. I don't think we
do not win this.
You don't win this. Let me point and laugh.
We have a passion. We have a passion for losing unlosable fights. We're really passionate about it.
But why did she lose it? Let's just be very clear.
Our setup was terrible.
Setup was terrible. Really, really poor off-angle control. Lucio was peeling your Kiriko again. Your Sojourn is playing Widowmaker, and your Tracer's playing, Objective Simulator. It's really important in these OT fights to not worry too much about point. It's just let it happen. The thing is they're the ones who have to worry about point, right? Not you guys. Yeah. You guys can even let them flip. You're gonna win the fight. They have to put all their cards on the point. We don't need to let them all run into point, and then you can just take the entire off angles and just guarantee you win the fight. That's a life hack. Anytime the other team has to really worry about point, that's when you do. Just take all the angles. You don't even worry about point at all. Let them take it. They will lose 100%. That even works in ranked. So
got mine. I don't really know what my team was doing.
Got mine. He says. Got mine. He says.
All right. Let's see. I have to touch, but
yeah. This is okay. This is okay.
Going on.
And again, here I would not be again. I hate to keep beating on Milk. I'm just joking. I freaking love being on Milk. It's hilarious. Who are you peeling for here, right? Maybe your queen here, but this might be a situation where once this has been dealt with, the best thing you could be doing is probably shooting the Genji or shooting the Moira, or you know what I'm saying? Take an angle with your Sojourn here and pressure here, because for you to peel your queen, I think you just die. For you to actually physically be here, right? And then also remember, you don't peel for her; you give her an escape route.
And her TP is goes nowhere because of that.
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, where does the TP go? Should be to Sojourn. Aye. There, to be fair, there was a TP there. Yeah. Okay. That was that. Let's watch well, I guess that's pretty much it. We got a few more minutes. Do you guys want to look at a little bit of another code?
Sure.
We have Rialto where we play Briggs and Ball. I guess I have questions on we take a lot of really aggro angles as the Briggs N. I want to maybe just hear your
attack
thoughts
here.
About it. Yeah.
Oh my god, my echo was devious this game. Holy shit, I ate.
Okay, let's take some notes in the previous rounds before we move forward. The Brawl stuff on Ilios, Lighthouse. Take multiple angle approach.
Write down Trident. I'll remember Trident.
When enemy has point, Trident. Also, alas, I just misspelled also, but we're gonna roll it. Make sure to time your angles well when possible. Still have a wall push. I think that was mostly. There's a couple other details that might be worth looking at for the people that play. For example, Sojourn Disruptor shot timing. Baptiste needs to be a little bit careful of the enemy symmetric teleporter. Ryan can die for Blizzard as long as he gets his cleave. Just details like that, which I wouldn't necessarily overthink. Let the person pick him up, but not necessarily team stuff. Okay, and then in terms of the JQ Lucio crap, what were the takeaways? What were the points?
Don't play Sojourn Widow.
Don't play Sojourn Widow. Okay, no Sojourn Widow. Which is ironic because you were not playing Sojourn Widow on the round before. You actually were carrying.
Yeah, his TikTok was calling, I guess.
I guess so, right. All right, what else?
He was watching the Family Guy clips while...
I get it.
I need to be +1ing either DPS depending on which angle is
DPS
stronger.
Or tank, depending on strength of angle, what you feel in the moment. Be instinctual, flow like water, crash and burn. Okay. Nothing. Disregard. Kiriko, don't. Also, I guess more details for Lucio. Don't peel Kiriko. Avoid crossing over to peel. Just get more value where you are.
If we had in between fights, we can really figure out our setup to a very minute degree, because like obviously in the middle of the fight it's hard to like position all 5 players perfectly, but at the start of the fight we should like think about, okay, we want these 2 here on this high ground controlling this angle, and we want these guys in main, and we want these guys over here, because like in between fights you have the luxury of very carefully determining where all 5 players on the map are, so like really think about it in between fights. Sure.
I also put in there too is like, don't forget the plan. I think what you guys could do for a scrimmage is you could take turns focusing on like your ult plan and then focus on your setup. I do think, like, especially for inexperienced teams, trying to focus on like what off angles should we control, what should our setup be, and thinking about like the ult layering and 2-head, 5-head, and like figuring out like what ults do we want to use.
What do you mean inexperienced? What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, maybe not Overwatch League level teams. Even Overwatch League level teams might be a little bit to bite off, you know, to try and do both. So you could have fights where you're not super sweaty about like the ult tracking and the ult planning, and just focusing on like having a nice clean setup, and then vice versa. Some fights like you're some maps or some series or scrims, you just focus on having a really, really nice ult plan, even if we're not super perfect on the setup. And you'll get better at both the more that you practice.
Some scrims, I think we need to focus more on one or the other. I also think that we've been letting our ult tracking slip because it's in mirrors, it's a lot easier to ult track. And also against enemy comps that are like would not have been played 2 weeks ago, it's also harder to ult track.
Yeah.
So because it's in kind of a experimental time, we've let ult tracking, slip through our fingers. So ult tracking in fight plans is like, we just got to think about it in the new context of the new comps that are being played.
Exactly. You always got to go back and revisit the fundamentals that you've let slip. Because like ult tracking is so important. It is so important. So while you put it on the shelf while you're practicing other things, you can't forget to go back and practice it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep
while we learn the new comps, we can't forget to just like let it go until like 2 months after playing the comp, You're right. Then we start thinking about it.
Right, exactly. Okay, let's look at a couple of fights here.
All right.
Briggs in aggression. I mean, that's fine. This is like what we want to see, right? Like whoever your support is +1ing, whether that's the Zenyatta or the DPS is.
Yeah, this was funny. You'll find this funny.
I didn't even know she was here. I go for a jump shot beginning of the round.
Big trade.
Right. But yeah, remember, it's the same concept as Lucio. It's like whoever your Brig is +1ing, that person needs to be taking a more aggressive off angle. So
it was usually Zen this time.
Yeah, that
Zen
works.
just ordered me, and then Milk and Kiba were on an angle, and then Cam was just doing ball things.
Sure.
And
that's what makes Briggs in
borderline throwing.
That's what makes Briggs in really good. Is because the Brig can put a lot of attention into protecting the Zenyatta, but both of those guys can help other off angles with their range support, right?
Yeah.
Like Brig can put a lot of resource, but an armor pack can over there, or Harmony Orb over there. So it's like they're not only focused on yourself. Whereas a Lucio, remember we talked about Lucio, is like really, really good +1, but where he is that you get what you get. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
And this is cheeky. My only critique of this here is I would prefer to see it a little bit earlier. So like your ball's on the way out and then your Brig sends in. So that's a little bit spooky. But honestly,
like better timing.
Yeah, just slightly better timing. But honestly, I'm okay with it.
Now your ball wasn't that bad.
I would just say here is like don't put yourself in an echo sandwich, right? Your shift needs to be to open your angle back up, not to cross in the open here.
Yeah,
because that's what kills you, right? You see this here. Look at the red. Look at the blue. Blue's pincered. Then you're dead.
Red pincered, yeah.
Yeah,
I even with just flew back and over the roofs and
just fly over the roofs. Yeah, and then you're good. Yeah, even without the Ashe, I think there's a good chance that May could have killed you here, just by yourself.
I was just like running to my supports when in reality I could have just backed up and it's a passive now.
Setup here is really, really nice. Like I think really, really nice here. I think the only thing here is I think Briggs in, you can play a little bit more aggressively here, and also Milk. If you see an opportunity here, I want if you see okay, my Zen's safe here. One of the things that you could do here is you're like, okay, bash, get the kill, go get her.
All right.
If your Zen is not immediately in danger of being run over, you need to play around Zen, but play like a Lucio around Zen, and just go Brig. Dive Brig, right? With Harmony Orb, go get her. Like she's dead. Because there's what's on your Zen right now, right? What's on your Zen?
Nothing.
So go swing. Now that's what makes Brig really strong is when there are things that go on Zen. Sombras, Tracers, Balls, Winston's. But when there's not, you are going to have more responsibility to swing. Like for example, right now, you ready for something crazy? Your Brig Zen should only be stacked if Genji's a threat. Otherwise, your Brigitte should be dropping to point and just beating on point.
I think I do drop here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, goodbye.
Okay, maybe not.
Good. That's good.
Good try. Good try.
Oh my gosh, I'm in the pit. Okay, yeah. You guys just need to find a cycle to get pressure on that Widow, and then, like here, this needs to be like, my Widow does not peek until my ball's engaged.
Okay.
And also, my ball does not play patty cake with anybody but the Widowmaker, so that you guys can actually have a real peek here.
Okay.
As for you, the Echo is rough, for sure. At that point, very difficult.
Really?
At this particular spot, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's just wide open spot with Widow can CCTV, just like hold the angle, and it's really difficult for you to do much.
CCTV.
That's what they call it.
Well, for some reason, the Widow's playing like,
Yeah, I don't know what the frick she's doing.
Arissa,
She's an idiot.
It would have been more of an issue if she was playing like back.
This is a great setup though. Like, look at the setup. This is brilliant. Like, if their Widow was playing back high ground, then you would need to have your ball. Well, you would need your ball to set up here and then go for this, right? But I love the pincer approach here. This is really good. I imagine you guys probably win this fight, right?
I think we do, but it gets really dicey.
Oh, they have a lot of ults here.
Oh, he's going for us. He's going
that's a really good ult trade. That's 3 ults for 1, 2.
Just copy, I think.
Yeah,
balls,
copy.
If you count it.
Ball mines. Yeah, I mean, that's still fine. A lot of space. Genji should die. Yeah, and then now here again, just call your timing of like almost like a Mei wall, like 3, 2, 1. I'm on the Widow. Peek now. Widow should die. There she is. Okay, close enough. Yeah, this is good. Good setup, guys. Really good setup. Really good setup. But the only caution, like I said, there is just make sure that your Brigitte is like managing when she can swing, when she can't swing. Obviously, like
coordinating with ball, like okay, peek now when he's slamming is probably.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's where like again you take the 5-head setup and apply it in a 3-head timing. And I think your ball or your Echo are going to be your timers, I guess.
Yeah, I just love Echo on this map. You can just be such a nuisance.
Yeah, again, timing here is a bit of an issue, right? Where like we got people in cart. What the frick is going on right here? Right? I know it's like fun.
Wait, what?
I saved him. Don't worry.
Yeah, right.
To boot him up, but it was a tank.
I get the idea there, but like it's like your Zen Brigger then on the way out, and then your ball's on the way in, and your Echo's on card. It's just kind of an awkward time.
I remember the comment. Don't worry, team. I got this. Never mind.
Well, he lived.
Off.
I mean, he did live.
The question is, what does he got? You know. What prompted this rally?
I think I was just scared that we were gonna.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's get some space out of it here.
They don't want to run into the flat screen TV.
Hey, that's how you do it. You see that? Boop the wrist off the high ground. Finally, somebody does it properly.
Zen kick useless.
By the way, this is kind of like, it's not perfectly timed, but this is much better timing. You see the timing of this engage from your ball? Ball, Brig, Echo, Widow Peak. Zen's a little slow because, Zenyatta.
Yeah, their wrist is just dead. I mean,
but yeah, just gets melted. You guys have like 2 or 3 different angles that you guys are peeking from. That right there is a good example of like a 3-head timing with a 5-head setup, right?
Yeah.
That was well done. That was really well done.
My Widow player's cracked.
Yep.
Oh.
Do you guys want to hear something spicy?
Yeah, sure.
There's a pretty good argument here that, especially now that they're not on Tracer or whatever here, what should Milk be on right now?
Lucio.
Like what character? Or?
Yes, Lucio.
Let's go.
Brig is only specifically better at pocketing your range DPS you're not really playing DPS besides Echo that need a lot of support. Like Widow doesn't really need a lot of help. And also like how much direct peel does your Zenyatta need versus this comp? Genji's kind of a problem, but that's pretty much it, right?
I mean, if they were on like Winston, you stay Brig, but you're saying Lucio
exactly. Also, as things get more congested, Lucio's going to find more and more value compared to Brig as well. So go ahead.
Say I'm being hard dived, and then I feel like I'm not doing anything. Is there a character I have to swap to, or should I
Off of Widow?
try and make yeah?
You tell me.
Because I know later in this round.
I mean, yeah, this is Widow Misery. Yeah, this is Widow Misery. Third point is terrible for Widow. So where would you go? There's a couple of options here.
Sojourn.
Yeah. Give me another one.
I mean, I did go Tracer for a bit, but my
Tracer. Give me another one.
Yeah, we made him drop Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, I think Cass or Ash are okay as well. Yeah. Just a shorter range hit scan. Really, anyone is fine.
I'm thinking like the roofs of this map. You know, who's good at exploiting roofs? I'm thinking Junkrat, right? Of course.
Yeah, naturally, because here's what happens: is you just win the first fight because they're scared of Junkrat, obviously, and then you get into here, and then you just get a 5K.
Yeah, I mean, closed corridor Junkrat.
Yeah, it's been scientifically proven.
Okay, fine. I'll go Torb.
Yeah, that's good. Honestly, I would rather you go Torb here than Widowmaker on this point.
Wait,
I'm not even checking. I would rather you go Torb. I forgot
you went Hog.
I think Hog is crap here, frankly.
Yeah, what?
Probably better than Ball because your flanks are limited, but I think like you're gonna have a pretty hard time in this corridor.
Oh, he went back to Ball. I was like, that's why I was surprised. I don't remember him playing Hog.
Probably Sigma Mirror would be the easiest thing to play here if you can play Sigma.
Yeah,
I think we're just committed to trying this.
Right. And this is where, like, by the way, this is where like the Lucio opens up your choices as well. Because if you guys go Lucio, you could also go Zarya, or you could go Junker Queen as well if you want to.
Yeah. Look at the last like 5 seconds for my POV.
Oh, I knew this was going to happen. Zen players and their egos. Not a real human being. Finally, the guy gets his kick and he just loses it. Watch him die. Watch him die. I wanted to die so badly. All right, let's watch one more fight. You guys got time for one more?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I got time for
let's lock in. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. This would be a situation where like you guys could just like, I mean, depends on what you guys want to do, but you could, if you had ultimates here, you could just ult dump, try and play for the fight when you only really have Durance, but yeah.
I think next fight, I shield bash a Flux.
Oh yeah, this is so stupid. It was so stupid. Oh my god! Have you seen that super clip? No. Have you seen that super clip of in World Cup of him getting?
Yes. Was it Lijiang Tower?
16 nautical miles away. Yes.
Yeah.
It was Lijiang Tower. Yeah. Milk recreated that. It's actually insane that the hitbox on that thing is the size of Jupiter. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I hear you. This is pretty good.
When the Brig does it, it's fine, but when I do it, it's like, oh, you go.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Brig players, you just gotta like accept their mental illness. You gotta be a little more understanding.
Exactly. By the way, situations like these, I think the best thing that you can do is when they have an overwhelming map advantage, you need to take some risks here. I think what you would try to like synchronize like a 3-2-1 Briggs in flank like you guys did on first point. Okay, good. Because it's just like, you know that everything is going to feel miserable here. So do something kind of tricky. This timing is horrific. I mean, Echo needs to be already set up on this flank here. Briggs then need to be pushing this already. So you're a little late. And so then all the resources are dumped on Ball. And then just now, are you guys here? Yeah.
Just bad timing. What's the viability of like a right side Widow flank? Is that stupid?
I mean, I would say it's probably not necessary as long as you guys have pincer approaches. Like the fact that he has to park his Sigma shield here really sucks for him.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, your Widow,
if you drop shield the
right,
deal with someone else, then he gets a free.
Your Widow can honestly just park here and sit here. It's fine. It's just remember that's the trident, right? Like whenever they have like this, you just need to have multiple different approaches. I have to see this. This is actually unbelievable.
Also, he does walk into it. I mean, the guy's not blameless here, but. Like what? What?
That's a screen. Hold on, I'm saving. Hold on. I need to save
what
that.
are we cooking with here?
I need to save that.
What were the devs smoking when they made this hitbox?
What?
Yeah, I know.
There's your screenshot right there. Let's just enjoy that.
Like what? It even hits Genji and Soldier too. Like it hits 3 of them. Yeah, that bash makes sense.
I'm just the GOAT. What can I say?
I mean, I will say that if your Briggs and live here, you should win this fight.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my Widow play is insane.
Well, yeah, but the setup was insane too, right? You got to give credit where credit's due, and also I don't want to give hitskin players big ego. So, but really, honestly, like that was exactly what we were looking for. I love the fact that I whined about it, and then you guys did it almost immediately. So, that was perfect. That was really well done. Good timing, good angles. Walmart, or Papa John's, or whatever the stupid commercial is. Yeah, good something. Papa John's. You ever seen that commercial?
Oh, yeah. It's like good ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So Briggs and stuff, details, big picture stuff. What do you guys got to work on?
Time slamming a ball with like engages, because it was kind of it felt like when they lined up, it was merely like 2 clocks being like right twice a day, right? They were on cycles, and so occasionally the cycle would line up, but it was not planned. It was not like premeditated.
Yeah, like ball slams, Big Zen needs to peak. I
exactly.
Wherever I am, Echo
comes from the roof at the same time, and we like just killed one guy, and we just get out of that.
Get down. Exactly. Okay, what else?
By the way, it was better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John.
You would be the guy to look that one up.
I was curious.
Okay, so Briggs and timing around ball engages, flexibility with Brig pick if enemy comp has nothing to peel.
It's like, can you explain more why Lucio is better if they have no dive?
More to do. There's more that you can do. Okay. You can play, help a flanker physically. Like the thing with Brigitte is because she doesn't have the mobility, it could feel tricky to like actually be proactive without just dying to somebody, right? Like you saw it a couple times there, like, you got a little too aggressive, the Orisa almost kills you, or the Orisa does kill you, or you get hunted down and you die. So it's like the Lucio just has more options. So if you're not directly
more flexibility with positioning.
Right. If your Zen is not fish food, then the Brigitte doesn't really function as well. And that's ironically like kind of what made the last point work so well, is because your Zenyatta was able to take like a super aggressive flank and quote unquote get dove, which gave the Brig value. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, because then she got that ridiculous clown shield bash,
exactly.
Hit 17 people.
So your options are either, you continue to do stuff like that with your Zenyatta, but sometimes it might be tricky to do that. And it might just be easier just to let your Zenyatta play, damage sniper or whatever Zen, and just let your Lucio play the game. You could also, it's not a really great cohesive comp, but you could honestly also throw in a Kiriko there too, and just have Kiriko +1 an angle. But yeah, in general, like the Brigitte is something if your Zen is under threat, and if not, then it doesn't feel quite as good.
What are your thoughts on this comp and this map? You think
it's good? It's good. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I think there's going to be some stress points for sure with Widow and Echo. Some points in the map where you're going to wish that you had a Tracer, or I don't know what I can do here. Like for example, end of first point felt awkward for Echo. Might just have to shoot tank. In third point, Widow's going to feel tricky for sure. But the swaps there are not unreasonable for everybody. Like your ball could go to Sigma, your Widow could go to Sojourn, your Echo can go to Tracer, right? So, and you don't necessarily all need to do it at once either. It might be like one swap per point, right?
Gotcha. Because this is not a comp I would naturally have thought of, but I guess thinking about it on this map, it's not even like that bad. It's just something I would not have put down on paper and been like, that could work, This is definitely a bit of cooking for Milk. I like it.
That's fine.
Hey, I'm always the one who comes up with the comps.
The goofy comps, bro.
Yeah, no, the quality comps.
Yeah.
Hey, you can be goofy and quality, not mutually exclusive.
That's what works for me, right? Yeah. I wouldn't say goofy. It's more sophisticated. Is an adjective. Sophisticated, very mature as well.
Indubitably.
Indubitably, yes. One of those words. Okay, y'all have any questions?
No, I think we talked about most of them.
Okay.